So Barclays Bank has been the biggest European financier of fossil fuels since the Paris Climate Agreement was signed. They have provided $118 billion in financing to carbon-intensive companies, according to the Rainforest Action Network.
Well, now it appears they have bowed to shareholder pressure and agreed to a resolution to shrink their carbon footprint to net zero by 2050.
Yeah, they claim to have aligned all of their financing activities with the goals and timelines of the Paris Agreement and will publish transparent targets to track its progress. And when I read this, it got me pumped because remember, we've done a show where we tried to get everyone to take their money out of banks that pollute and that finance polluters and put it into banks that don't.
Because it's one of the biggest impacts you can make because, sure, you could go and spend all of your money that's in your savings account to, put up a solar field or something like that. But then you don't have any money in your savings account.
Right.
Whereas if you just move your money from one savings account to another, the bank is basically spending that money. You obviously have access to it. That's how banking works. But that means that you're no longer supporting the investment into fossil fuels through your bank. So is it time to switch your bank back over to Barclays?
Well, I did a little investigating. I wanted to make sure they're doing the right thing. And Barclays said it would restrict financing for companies that benefit from thermal coal activities, but would continue funding some companies involved in controversial tar sands projects in Canada that aim to cut their emissions. Now, Barclays will no longer support new Arctic drilling and will not finance fracking in the UK or Europe, but will consider other global projects. And I was like, wait a minute. I like some of that language, but some of it sounds weird. So I kept digging, and it turns out that Greenpeace UK's senior climate advisor, Charlie Cronick, criticized the policy. He said, the whole thing stinks of hypocrisy. It's nothing but an attempt to pull the wool over the eyes of shareholders who rightly want the bank to end its contribution to catastrophic climate breakdown. Barclays remains Europe's largest financier of these planet-heating industries and refuses to face up to the reality of the climate emergency and their role in fueling it, until it realizes that getting to net zero means ambitious action to phase out support for all fossil fuels. This newly proposed resolution is absolutely meaningless.
So, what to do if you're a bank who wants to keep financing fossil fuels because of money, but all of your shareholders don't like it? Well, you can just develop some language. You can pick out specific industries that you're not really investing in anyway. Like it's just really sad that they're like, we're doing the good thing, and then they're not doing the good thing at all.
Right. Now, if you're shareholders in Barclays, there's a vote coming up on May 7th, and keep their feet to the fire. Keep pressuring them. This resolution really isn't much of a binding resolution at all. So it's just funny how, the headline makes it sound great. Oh, my bank is shifted. I don't have to worry about it anymore. You got to read the fine print.
Right. And so then maybe on May 8th, if they don't do anything after you vote,
pull your money
out. We have a whole in-depth which talks about this whole topic, and we'll put the link down in the description so you can watch it if you haven't watched it already. It's one of the biggest impacts you can make. Thanks so much for watching this Now You Know clip.
Head over to Now You Know channel for full episodes of Tesla Time news and in depth.
And if you want to treat yourself and your family to something amazing, check this out.
Jesse and I have been enjoying Masterclass, where we've been learning all sorts of fun topics from the masters themselves.
Yeah, business leadership skills from Bob Iger. Yeah, that Bob Iger.
Jazz from Herbie Hancock.
Basketball from Steph Curry. Yeah, that Steph Curry.
And so many more.
Click the link down below to support our channel and experience what it's like to learn from the masters at Masterclass.